Hi, Roger Knecht, President of Universal Accounting Center. Today, here with Scott McKinley.
Hello.
Now, Scott, as a coach, you're working with a lot of our students, helping them as they're building and starting their practices. And you're more than just a coach. You're definitely focusing on life-type issues as a life coach. And at the same time, you're also working with them from a marketing perspective, helping them implement various marketing strategies to get clients. So I'm kind of curious, how do you first identify when you're beginning your relationship with one of the students what their goals are and get that clarity as to what it is you're going to accomplish in the coming weeks and months?
Okay, cool. Right there. You said a key word. You said clarity. And when somebody's doing something new, when we're starting a new endeavor, it's really hard to know exactly what it is we want out of it. And so there's a really simple exercise, there's a simple technique that I learned about 2 years ago in reading a book called The Law of Attraction, The Science of Attracting More of What You Want and Less of What You Don't Want, by a gentleman named Michael J. Losier. And in it, he introduces a really simple technique that I use constantly with myself, with my family, with my coaching students that I work with. And you can use it in any aspect of your life where you're not really satisfied with what results you're getting from it.
Or you're not clear as to what it is you really want. Right. You're just letting life happen.
Okay, exactly. Okay. And so it kind of goes back to that phrase, that word clarity. That's the key word. And this is a clarity through contrast exercise. So what I would do with a student, and this is what I've done, this is what we do with students when we're setting goals, or really when we're just getting the coaching off and started. I want to find out what we want to happen in this business. And the best way to find out what we want to have happen is by establishing what we don't want to have happen.
Okay.
So, everybody knows what you don't want. I know I don't want to get a flat tire. I know I don't want to have my bills paid late. I know I don't want to be struggling with finances. I know I don't want my relationships to be sour. So, we're really clear on the things that we don't want. The problem is, those tend to be the things that we focus a lot of our energy on. Oh, I don't want to get a ticket. I don't want to get a ticket.
You dwell on them.
Right. So this is the way for us to establish what we don't want and then identify, so what do we want? So what we would do in this exercise with the student, and I recommend that anybody that's watching this, do this at home. Try this, okay? Make a simple T-chart. Okay? Straight line across, straight line down. On the far left column, I want you to write what you don't want. And we're going to do this on your business. So if you were a coaching student of mine, you're starting your own business, what I would want to know is, what don't you want? So list one thing.
I don't want to do payroll.
Okay, doesn't want to do payroll. List another thing that you don't want in your business.
I don't want to work on weekends.
Okay, don't want to do payroll, don't want to work on weekends. Give me a couple more.
I don't want to have any employees. I'd like to have a business that I'm just myself.
Okay, don't want to have employees. One more. Give me one more.
I don't want to have to travel more than 30 minutes to a client.
Okay, excellent. So now we've established what Roger does not want in his business. So instead of focusing on that, what I'm going to do is on the right column, I'm going to write, well, what do you want? So the first thing was, I don't want to do payroll. Don't want to do payroll. So what do you want?
I want to do accounting and bookkeeping. I want to do consulting. I want to do the bookkeeping. I want to go monthly, pick up the work, go home, actually prepare all the financials and such, find what trends are going on, and then report those back to my clients.
So now we know what Roger's objective with his business is to do the bookkeeping, the monthly write-up, the consulting. He's not doing payroll. It also lets us know that we have this option, because he's not doing payroll, we now have the option to find somebody to help you with doing the payroll. That's going to be a marketing technique that we can use a little bit later on.
Because I don't want to do it. Exactly. So I can find a solution there.
So instead of Roger focusing on what he doesn't want, now there's clarity. Now I know exactly what I want. So the second thing was, you don't want employees.
That was my third, but yes.
Oh, what was the second one?
It was horrible. It's on video, and they're going to rewind it and just watch it again.
You can go back and you can watch it. Let's go to the one that's you don't want employees.
Don't want employees.
Okay, so don't want employees, so what do you want?
I want to be able to manage my business in a way that I'm not overwhelmed and needing to grow beyond myself. I want to stay in control of the number of clients I have and not get ahead of myself and take on more clients than I can personally handle.
You might even have a specific number of clients that you can now identify that you want to be working with.
I will only work with this many clients, for example.
Okay, so there's clarity now. He's not going to be having employees. It's just going to be him. You said you didn't want to be commuting.
Yeah. Go ahead. That was the fourth one. The second one that we overlooked was I didn't want to work on weekends.
Okay, so what do you want?
I want to work during the week. Try and create for myself something that's more traditional, something that I can do Monday through Friday kind of a thing.
Perfect. Monday through Friday, you're in control of your hours. You see what's starting to happen is we're mapping out exactly what you're going to be focusing on in your business, rather than focusing on the negative things. We might get even more specific, and I would say what is introduced in the book, be as specific with this list as possible. Make as many.
The more you can define, the clearer it is, the more likely you're going to achieve it. It's when it's vague and ambiguous that you let things slip in, and then you cause that problem that you were trying to avoid because you weren't clear enough.
Sure.
Yeah.
So we could be focusing on what you don't want as far as the type of clients that you want to be working with. I don't want to be working with clients that are negative and demanding and make me do things that I don't feel comfortable doing. So what do you want? I want to work with the type of people who I feel confident working with.
Who see me as a peer.
Absolutely.
Respect my abilities, yeah.
You see how it goes. And so you can really get that clarity of what you want your business to look like by identifying what you don't want it to look like. Now, once you're done with that list, and you've got the left column and then the right column with the things that you do want, tear the list in half. Take the list of all the things that you don't want, and I want you to crumple it up, and I want you to burn it or throw it away, or if you want to go bury it in the backyard, whatever you want to do, get rid of those negative thoughts.
Physically.
Right. Don't focus on those negative things, and I want you to focus only on the positive. You now have a list, hopefully of 15, 20 things that you want your business to look like. You're starting to now get that vision. We'll talk a little bit later in another video about how thoughts become things. But I know this, and I know this because of experience personally, things that I've read in books. If you start focusing on those things, you have the power to manifest that in your business.
Because those opportunities would manifest themselves and you'll be able to seize those opportunities. Act on them because you recognize them. When they present themselves, you'll now see them from what they are and act on them.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Focus on the things that you do want. Don't focus on the things that you don't want. Focus on what you really want to have happen, and be prepared to be amazed with the type of business that you're going to create for yourself.
Yep. I just want to add one thing to this. In the example, you had me mention 4 things, and it's been my experience working with a few students where I've seen people who've said to themselves, I don't want to do payroll, as I was saying, and ultimately what happens is on that 3rd, 4th, 5th client that comes along, they kind of bend their standards and they say, well, I really want that client, so even though I don't want to do payroll, I guess I will. And then that client comes along that says, you know what, I work Monday through Friday so much, I can only meet with you on Saturdays. Will you meet with me on a Saturday? And the person goes,
right.
Oh, I want that client so bad. You know what, I will. But in reality, you need to be true to yourself, because what's going to happen is 6 months, 12 months down the line, you sacrificed your integrity and you've taken on something you didn't want. Now you're unhappy because it's not become what you wanted it to be.
And you wonder, why does this keep happening? Why do these things that I don't want keep happening? And it's because you allow it to happen.
You're not clear and you're not holding to those principles, and that's what's important about this.
Totally.
I cannot agree with you more, Scott. Clarity does allow you to actually achieve what you want, because the more clear you are, the more real it will become. So that's what's true about this. So,
absolutely.
Excellent advice. I appreciate this. This is wonderful for everyone. Just remember this. If it's about accounting, it is universal.
As well as accounting success is universal. Thanks, you guys.
Take care.
Have a great day.